Mattie Larson was always a gymnast to watch. She rose through the junior ranks cleanly, becoming a U.S. Junior Level 10 national champion in 2005, then making junior international teams. In time, she continued to rise, qualifying for the 2008 Olympic trials, where she delivered solid performances. After battling injury in 2009, she came roaring back in 2010, winning the CoverGirl Classic all-around title. She also won the U.S. National Championship on floor that year, a silver in the all-around and bronze on bars. But her sudden stardom on floor would soon become a bright spotlight of pressure. Floor was her specialty: clean lines, artistry, risk, and connection. All things judges love. In 2009 at the World Cup in Montreal, she took gold on both balance beam and floor. In 2010, she was part of the U.S. team at Worlds in Rotterdam, contributing and expecting to help bring home gold, until errors on her floor in qualifications, and again in the team final, cost her dearly. She missed a punch front layout in one pass, failed some composition requirements, and fell on her double pike pass. A skill that was not kind to her at both trials and nationals finally got the best of her. The U.S., very narrowly, ended up with the silver. Many cast Mattie as the reason, but that's simply impossible to say. Regardless, her signature event became the stage for multiple heartbreaks and cast a shadow on her elite career. While what happened to Mattie was unfortunate, looking back, it's easy to see her strengths not only in the sport, but also in surviving one of Team USA's toughest decades. She was more than just a competitor. Her strength on and off the mat helped change the sport and the culture of silence she endured. As one of the first to come forward regarding Larry Nassar's abuse. In one instance, just to avoid attending the Karoli Ranch training, which led her straight to Nassar, she once badly injured herself. "I was taking a bath when I decided to push the bath mat aside, splash water on the tiles, get on the floor, and bang the back of my head against the tub hard enough to get a bump so it seemed like I slipped." Mattie would officially retire in early 2014, and her chance at Olympic glory simply vanished. Like many of the gymnasts in this era, her story seems to disappear, just when it promised so much. They were the greatest of the 2010s, the chosen few of Team USA, gymnastics' brightest stars.
Yeah, this is an athlete that Marta Karoli wants to showcase to the international judges.
But the brighter they shined, the faster they disappeared. Born to compete, their childhood buried beneath impossible dreams. Every routine perfected, every mistake broadcast. The injuries piled up, pressure mounted. Some walked away, others were pushed out, and a few simply broke. Every sacrifice, every scar, all for a chance at Olympic glory. But for as fast as the spotlight chased them, it would suddenly go black. And when the lights went out, some of them were gone. There was no Olympics, no glory, no justice. Destiny, stolen, though many forgot them. History remembers the resilience of their fight, a decade of silence that now echoes. These are their stories.
The vanished.
The vanished. Vanished. Where are the vanished?
The vanished.
Rebecca Bross was the next big star of gymnastics entering the 2010s. Training at Woga under Valerie Lukin, she followed in the footsteps of Carly Patterson and Nastia Lukin, both Olympic champions from the same gym. From junior Pan Am medals to her breakout as a senior in 2009, she carried the label of the next in line. Powerful, precise, and remarkably consistent, she seemed destined for Olympic glory. But destiny has a way of slipping away in gymnastics. Her peak came fast. 2010 U.S. national champion, multiple world medals including team silver, beam silver, all-around silver, bronze, and bars bronze. She was hundreds of a point from becoming the best in the world in 2009. She nearly won the all-around, until her last piece of gymnastics, in the last rotation, it slipped away. Injuries stalked her. Many called it bad luck. it seemed more complicated than that. Her ankles were always semi-damaged. Whether overtraining or injury, they were fragile. Combined with a beam dismount that seemed to haunt her, it always seemed like something bad might happen. And by 2011 it did. At Nationals, she was up on vault, her ankle not strong. But she had done this before. But this time Rebecca hit the ground still twisting, and in front of a packed arena, she dislocated her kneecap. She tried to recover, and though she tried again in 2012 just to compete bars and beam, she wasn't ready. Her body wasn't ready. At Olympic trials, she tried as a specialist, only competing her 2 events. But she faltered on both. She was once a fraction of a point from the greatest in the world. The next moment, Rebecca Bross vanished. It's tempting to blame her injuries, but it's always more factors than just one thing. Comebacks in gymnastics are hard. Even small dips in confidence after big falls or surgeries, especially public ones, can change performance in big ways. The crowd once cheered Bross's boss, but in a moment it was silence. Ashton Locklear rose through the ranks as one of the best bar workers in the United States, known for her clean lines and world-class execution. With her talent, she seemed prized for Rio 2016. But her Olympic dream was complicated. She was a bars specialist in a system that valued all-arounders, and every mistake carried weight. For Ashton, there was no room for error. Her path collided with Madison Kochian, another American bars star. The two were pitted against each other by coaches and media, forced into a rivalry where only one could claim the Olympic spot. Both carried immense pressure to deliver perfection every single time, knowing a wobble or a missed handstand could end their chances. Their rivalry was as much manufactured as it was real, a reflection of a system that thrived on comparisons. When the Rio team was announced, Kochian earned the coveted bars spot. Ashton was left behind, brilliant but overlooked. On day 1 of Olympic trials, she fell from the beam, a mistake that in her mind could have cost her the Olympics. But when Mattie had the same mistake on day 2, what separated these two athletes was mere 0.02 of a point, and the fact that Mattie was the current world champion on bars. But with Mattie's mistake, Ashton couldn't help but wonder, what if she wouldn't have fell? She made the team as an alternate, but that was a consolation to years of dedication and commitment. She came back nearly leading the team in 2017. With all of her experience, she was now the one at the top. But the spotlight faded, and with it an athlete whose talent never saw its big moment. She remains a star on an event that has plagued Team USA throughout history. A star that has vanished. Maggie Nichols stood on the brink of Olympic stardom in 2015. She was the quiet powerhouse, delivering consistency when Team USA needed it most. But just as her star began to rise, a devastating knee injury struck. Suddenly, the gymnast who had been called unshakable was left sidelined, forced to watch her Olympic dream slip further from reach with every passing month. Her story didn't end there. Maggie was also the first gymnast to report Larry Nassar's abuse to USA Gymnastics in 2015, a brave act that many believe cost her international assignments and sealed her fate. Officials denied retaliation, but the timing raised suspicions. Was she excluded because of numbers, or because she dared to speak first against a predator the sport was protecting? The controversy made her legacy even more complicated. When the 2016 trials arrived, Maggie had clawed her way back, but it wasn't enough. She hit her routines, yet the coveted 5 Olympic spots never included her name. To Maggie, it felt like betrayal, her years of sacrifice erased in an instant. For many fans, she became the ultimate what if, the gymnast robbed of her rightful place in Rio. But others saw it differently. Olympic selection wasn't just about hard work. It was about scoring potential and strategy. Maggie's injury left her weaker on vault, her edge dulled against teammates with higher start values. Some argue her exclusion wasn't politics or punishment. It was pure math. And in a system where only perfection survives, Maggie Nichols was left to vanish. They rose as champions, shining brighter than anyone imagined. Talent, power, and promise carried them to the edge of glory. But the higher they climbed, the harder the fall. Dreams that once seemed unshakable left one by one the spotlight, black. Injuries, pressure, politics, and hidden battles stole more than medals. They stole legacies. Here one day, the next day, vanished.
The vanished.
The vanished. Vanished. Where are the vanished?
The vanished.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like the video and subscribe. And if it gets enough likes, The Vanished will continue, exploring more athletes that faded too soon.